There's a quote from George Orwell's book 1984, and it says, "The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command." I feel like we are actively living that reality right now. We're being asked to ignore what we see with our own eyes in order to follow a false narrative. It's always our fault for having eyes, I guess. I was born in Argentina, raised there as well. And when I was 15, the government and the citizens were experiencing extreme turmoil. There was economic collapse, there was dangerous civil unrest, and Argentina went through 5 presidents in 2 weeks. Now, my family sold everything in order to move to the US for a better life. This happened on September 10th, 2001. The that night, we went to bed. We went to sleep. And the next morning, my siblings and I woke up. And I remember my mom coming into a room, and without words, she just guided us to the kitchen where we had this little tiny TV that was broadcasting the 9/11 attacks. Now, we all watched in horror as the Twin Towers fell. My parents were forced to hide the money that we had made inside a jar in a hole in the backyard because they were afraid that we would get robbed or worse, killed. A month later, we were finally able to get a flight to the US, and within weeks, food riots broke out in Argentina. People were starving. Almost 40 people were killed by the police, including 10 minors. Now, you have to think that my family fled this economic collapse, the starvation, the political unrest, the violence, the chaos, and the death in hopes of a better life here in the US. We arrived, and years later, I got married, I had a child, I became a US citizen only less than a year ago. And today, my heart is breaking, and I can't help but feel hopeless and helpless as I watch the place that we fled to for safety crumble and become what we meant to leave behind. And now, my current family, my husband and my child, are considering our options, and one of them obviously is to leave the US. And I'm torn and crushed. I don't want to go. I want this place to be what we hoped for when we arrived almost 25 years ago. But sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do, things that we are forced to do. I still don't know what the decision will be ultimately, but I know that I deeply appreciate all of you who are standing up, who are showing up, those that know how this feels and that want America to do better. It gives me hope amid this despair. So don't stay quiet because silence is the enemy.